back, and today we're going to do another 2 lessons. These lessons are a little bit harder than the other lessons we've done, so pay attention so that we are following along. Our first vocab word is a variable. A variable is a letter used to show a missing number in math. It could be an A or a W or an L or an S or any letter. But when you see a letter in math, it means that it is representing a missing number, some number. Okay, an equation is a number sentence with a equal sign. If it has an equal sign, then it is an equation. So here are 2 equations. Let's fill them out. 4 plus 3 equals 7. This whole thing is considered an equation because it has an equal sign. 15 minus 8 is 7. There's another equation for you. All right, what's really cool today, we're going to learn how to find a missing addend. An addend, remember, is any number that you're adding together. So in this equation, we have, and this bar represents our equal sign, that's how we know it's an equation. We have 24 plus m, so these are our 2 addends, equals 37. If I'm reading it with addition, I read down. 24 plus m equals 37. So I want to know what number m is. It's standing in for a missing number, and we can figure out what it is using the other 2 numbers that we have. So 24 plus a number equals 37. Well, that tells us that 37 minus 24 would give us what m is because of our fact families. So I can read this backwards as a subtraction problem. 7 minus 4 is 3, 3 minus 2 is 1. So now I'm going to try it. What if I replace 13 with m? 24 plus 13, does that equal 37? You bet it does. All right, let's look at another example. So what if we have 3 addends that we're adding up? Oh my, this one has 4 addends. 15 plus 20 plus 6 plus w equals 55. Well, to figure out what the missing one is, the first thing I'm going to do is add up all the ones that I know. So I'm going to add up these. So 15 and 20 plus 6, 15 and 20 is 35, and 35 plus 6 is 41. So I know that 41 plus w equals 55. And I want to know what this is. Well, if 41 plus w equals 55, then 55 minus 41 is going to equal w. So if I do that, 55 minus 41, I get 14. And then I can check my answers by plugging it in. So 14 plus 41 is 55. It all works out. What about, that was the end of lesson 10, by the way. I think you guys are going to be so good at this that I'm going to throw in lesson 14 too. What about missing numbers in subtraction? So we just did addition. We can reverse subtraction problems to make addition problems. I already kind of showed you that. So for example, 3 plus 4 equals 7. That's how I read it down. What about if I read it up? 7 minus 4 equals 3. And that's what we were doing up there. So reading it down is addition, reading it up is subtraction. I could do the same thing with a subtraction problem. Reading it down, 8 minus 6 is 2, is subtraction, which means that if I read it up, 2 plus 6 equals 8. And this works because addition and subtraction are inverse operations, like we learned last time. So let's look at how that helps us to find missing numbers in subtraction. There can be a few different numbers that can be missing in a subtraction problem, and the way that you solve it is a little bit different, but we're going to use addition. So here we have f minus 15 equals 24. So the F is the one that is missing in this case, the top number, the first number. The first number of a subtraction problem can be found by adding the other two numbers. If we read this problem down, it's F minus 15 equals 20. If we read it up, we can make it addition. So we can say that 24 plus 15 equals F, right? And then we're going to solve for what F is. So 24 plus 5 is 9, and 2 plus 1 is 3. And so we know that F equals 39. Now sometimes, instead of being the first number that's missing, it might be the second or the third number. And in that case, we're going to solve it by using subtraction. Let's look at why. So we have 45 minus S, our missing number, equals 21. That was when I read it down. If I read it up as addition, then I'm going to say that 21 plus S equals 45. Now this is just like the problem that we were doing before on the other page with addition. So 21 plus a number equals 45. We're going to undo it with subtraction. So 45 minus 21 is how we're going to solve it. 45 minus 21. And so S equals 24. Let's check it by plugging it in. That's how we can always check our answers. Here's a little note for you about that. You can always check your answer by replacing the letter or variable with the answer you found and see if it works. So in this case, if I did, in my original problem, 45 minus 24, 5 minus 4 is 1, 4 minus 2 is 2, it works out. Okay, we got it. We know what we're doing. So again, going down, you can read a problem using one operation, which means that going up, you can read it with the opposite operation to help you figure out what those missing numbers are. Congratulations, you have just learned 2 more lessons that are a little tricky. Get to work and practicing using them.